Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Rebecca. Hope you're all doing well. The weather is lovely today in London. It's Saturday today and I think it's about 21 degrees, but it just feels so warm inside my flat. I haven't been outside, but I'm sure the weather's lovely. Anyways, today it's story time-ish, and it's basically about when I used to work in sexual health. So for those of you that don't know, I'm a nurse associate, and basically a nurse associate is basically like a bridge between a healthcare assistant and a registered nurse. So I'm a band 4, and I've been a nurse associate for about, I think, 2 years now. Yeah, I think I've been a nurse associate about 2 years, yeah. And like my very last job was working in sexual health. Before I start, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It really just helps push my videos and stuff, and I'm just trying to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so yeah, just help your girl out. So yeah, anyway, let's get into it. So yeah, so my last job was in sexual health. I applied for jobs and stuff, and I always wanted to work in sexual health. Even when I was training, I really wanted to get like a sexual health placement. I must have been on the NHS jobs website, and I came across a role for sexual health. So obviously I applied, went for the interview, and I got the job. So yeah, started work, and like it was so different to anything I'd ever done, because I never got to even do a placement, so I didn't know what it was like. But it was just so interesting. It's literally the best nursing job that I've ever done. I got to learn so much and I really enjoyed it. But working there now, it was a bit ghetto, I can't lie. Is ghetto the right word to explain? It was different. So I just feel like whilst I worked there was so much that like happened in that short space of time. I think I was only there for about a year, basically about a year, yeah. I met a lot of lovely people. I met a lot of different people in terms of like the people that I would like treat, like patients and stuff. There was one nurse in particular who was in a managerial position, by the way. And I remember there was one time we was in our lab, because we worked in a lab in sexual health. There was one time that the manager was around, and I remember like so many people were so scared of this manager. Whenever she was around, everyone would like make sure they looked busy, or like they just didn't want to cross her basically. I remember there was one occasion, the manager was there, and she made a comment, and she said, I can't remember if it was Nigerian people specifically, but I know that she was referring to Africans, and she said, I don't know if she said she had an African patient, but she was like, oh, do you guys want to see the way that African people chew? And then she proceeded to start like chewing like an African, and I was so shocked, because no one said anything or called her out on it. And obviously I think that day, I'm not sure, because there wasn't a lot of black colleagues that I had, but I think I was the only one in the lab that was black and African, I'm sure that day. And it just made me feel so uncomfortable. And I remember I just stopped for a second, and I just thought, is no one going to say anything about this? And because obviously everyone was kind of scared, no one called her out on it. And I just feel like, I don't care if you're a manager, you could own this whole building. I don't give a shit. Like, there's no way you're going to speak about African people like that. And the fact that she knew I was there and she felt no way to say it, like, because I feel like she felt like she had so much power that what she said was really racist. I feel like I'm like toning down what she said, because I can't remember, it was a few years ago now, but I remember being so horrified that she said that, and that no one called her out on it, because there was like quite a few doctors and a lot of nurses, and everyone just kind of looked and I think giggled as well, and it was not funny at all. And I remember like just the way she would speak to people, like I think one time it was like in the pandemic, and we wasn't supposed to like be like mixing rooms and stuff, like in terms of where we treated patients, and I think me and another nurse must have made a mistake, and the way she shouted at us, and it was just like I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to do that, but yeah, sometimes when things happen, I feel like I look back at it and I think to myself, why didn't you say anything? Like, why didn't you speak up? But that's the thing, these people in these positions, they make you feel so small to the fact that where they feel like they will make you feel like you haven't got a right to say anything or defend yourself. And that's why I wanted to make this video, because I know that there's a lot of people like training to be either nurse associates or nurses, and if you ever feel like you're being treated unfairly or treated in a way that's not right, make sure you speak up, because they need to be held accountable. And I really wish I would have said something, because it's not right that she felt that she thought that she could say that. Oh my gosh, I remember when I started working in sexual health, I think like a month in, it made me so like what's the word, scared to have sex, honestly, because like the amount of like sexual transmitted diseases you come across, like the amount of infections you come across, it just makes you feel like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe there's this much. Like I feel like everyone kind of knows like the typical chlamydia, gonorrhea, HIV, things like that, but then there's so much other things that's not discussed. Like there's just so many other things that I didn't know you could get. Doctors would like triage the patient, so see the patient, and then they would kind of assign you to that patient, and you would have to go in and give them swabs, etc., depending on whatever they think that they have or what they've come in with. And we would see the stuff underneath the microscope, and to think that that is living in your body. So honestly, it's so dangerous out there. Like you don't know what someone has, and like honestly, just use protection, protect yourself. You know that you're clean, but you just don't know about the other person, because they can tell you they are, but I don't know, do you know what I mean? Like, and the thing is, a lot of people came in asymptomatic. Asymptomatic means that like they didn't necessarily show that they had symptoms, so you wouldn't even know sometimes, because obviously I know sometimes some people come in with the actual symptoms, like they're dripping everywhere, so it's like as soon as you see them, you know, yeah, this person has something, but some people don't. So because there is some, I haven't worked in so long now, so I can't remember, but I think it might be gonorrhea that is more likely to show, and chlamydia that may not show, like in terms of showing symptoms and stuff. It was really interesting because obviously I used to do a lot of like female examinations, and I remember one occasion when like I was examining a female, and normally like we try to make them feel comfortable and stuff, because it can be quite uncomfortable for females having a female examination. It's basically like similar to having a smear test, and I mean, like my tactic was always to like kind of have a conversation with them, say, oh, like, how was your day? What do you do for work? Or what do you study, etc.? What do you do, basically? So I asked her, like, what have you been getting up to? So she said, oh, I've just been working. So I was just like, oh, okay, like, what do you do for work? And she was like, oh, I'm a sex worker. And I was just like, oh. Obviously, no judgment here. Like, do what you got to do to provide, girl. Like, do you? But that was the first ever time I'd met a sex worker. And obviously, after that, I met loads of like sex workers, transsexual people, gay people. I met basically everyone. Like, I remember we even used to have like specific days when we would have clinics just for like gay people, gay men, and we would just focus on doing swabs for them. And yeah, so I got to meet so many different people, amazing people, so lovely. And I feel like it's really good as well to like be able to be exposed to loads of people, because a lot of the time, because a lot of people aren't exposed to different people from different walks of life, that's why they can sometimes be ignorant, because you don't get to obviously experience meeting these kind of people. No, like I didn't really feel like I could speak out or like ask for things that maybe I thought I may be entitled to. So for example, the reason why I even left was because around like coming to like the end time of when I was working there, it was around the time when like my son was obviously getting about to get diagnosed for autism, and I remember I had to keep going to like a lot of meetings, a lot of therapy sessions, and like my manager at the time, she was amazing. This is a different manager. Like every time I would tell her, and she was like, yeah, that's fine, just go to the meeting and come to work after. She was really nice. I remember there was a time when she wasn't around, and then I decided, you know what, this is going to get too much for me, and I was working full-time at the time. I was living at home with my mum, so that's why I was able to work full-time. I was working full-time, and I thought to myself, this is too much. Like I feel bad like having to leave early sometimes or coming to work late, but I also feel bad that I'm not able to like give my all to like my son. And that time I really felt like he needed me, and I thought, okay, do you know what, yeah, I think the best thing for me to do is, because I don't want to have to lose myself, stop working, but at the same time I need to be there for my son. So I thought, oh, okay, maybe I should go part-time. Maybe if I do like 3 days a week or like something, maybe I'll be able to do the both. So I thought, okay, cool, let me apply for a part-time position. I remember the only reason why I did this is because I remember one of the nurses at the time applied for a part-time position, and she was able to get part-time. So the nurse, by the way, was obviously not the skin color as me, just saying. And before anyone says it doesn't matter, it does. So anyway, moving on. So I applied for the position, and obviously it's like already before applying I already thought that like it would be a no, but I applied, and I remember when I applied, I think that one of the managers kind of basically was already giving me the impression that it wasn't going to go in my favor, but I thought just do it anyway. So I did it, and then like I had to have like a meeting or whatever to like basically explain why I wanted to have this part-time position. So I let them know, obviously my son is about to be diagnosed with autism, maybe, and it's just a really tough time for me, etc. That yeah, like in terms of like my mental health, it's just taking a toll on my mental health, and I just feel like I'd really benefit from working part-time. I remember I had to have like some big meeting. I was there like with someone from HR and one of my managers and another one of the senior nurses. And now that I think about it, I don't know why they wasted my time. You should have just told me no straight away. Why did you make me go through that whole process when you already, when you know that they knew they were going to say no before that, like the whole meeting even happened? You just wasted my time. And I remember when they told me, I think, did I break down in tears? I can't remember. I remember being upset. Or was I upset? I might have just been fed up. But I said anyway in the meeting, I said, look, if you're not going to give me this part-time position, I'm going to leave, because my son is more important than the job. I'm not going to work full-time and neglect my son and his needs just because you aren't willing to work halfway with me. So yes, they said no, they weren't going to give me part-time, and I ended up leaving. So yeah, but like I remember being so upset because I just thought to myself, like, why can't you accommodate my needs? And I've noticed that is a big thing here in like the UK. I know that there's some places that have certain times. I remember when I used to work in retail, there were a lot of mums that used to work from like 10 till 2, so that they were able to like do the school run and then obviously pick up their child. I've noticed that like there's a lot of jobs that just don't accommodate that. And I know that nursing is obviously demanding and stuff, but like obviously not everyone is a nurse, nursing associate, nursing student, nursing assistant, healthcare assistant, anyone that works in the nursing field is not everyone is not gonna have children. Some people have children, and so because I have children, should I not be able to work? Like, and then like it's like the other end of the spectrum where like if you don't work, then you get called a scrounger, or like you just want to be on benefits, or you don't want to do nothing with your life, or you're just lazy. But it's like, if there's not that help or support to be put in place for us mums to be able to do both, how are you supposed to do it? Like it was quite an experience working in sexual health. I definitely would do it again, only if I was able to get a part-time role, because I really enjoyed it. I learned so much and I met so many amazing people. I feel like definitely once I go back to work and I do find, when I'm more settled, because I'm waiting for Joel to start full-time before I go back, I'm definitely going to make sure that I only settle for a role where they're able to accommodate my needs in terms of childcare. I hope you guys enjoyed my little, I don't know if that was a story time, but like my experience of working in sexual. But yeah, anyway, if you want to know more about like the process of me becoming a nursing associate, like how I became a nursing associate, how was the course, like qualifying, etc., like the placements, how similar it is to like nursing, or like the pros and cons, whether you should do nursing or nursing associate, like being a nursing associate, let me know in the comments and I'll do another video for you guys. Yeah. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.